God, I hope not Glue Glue Ball, because Glue Glue Ball asked if this is an RTS. No, this is the second punishment game for today. It is Divinity Dragon Commander. It was put forward by Crookers47, so I'm going to name our dragon after them. And I just randomly picked the dragon by going Italotl Black Bottle, Italotl U, and we ended up with Zephyr. I don't know anything about this game. I've never seen it, never played it, never heard of it, never... I'm going to probably wish I'd never seen or heard of it by the end of all of this. Okay, well, let's get going, see where these 2 hours are going to take us.
Thousands of years ago, Sigurd I built incredible engines of war, and with them forged an empire. The emperor married and sired many children. He even had a love child with mysterious Aurora, an ancient dragon in a woman's guise. Once united, peace was declared in Rivellon, and bloodshed soon forgotten. But Sigurd's realm of peace was shattered when his own sons and daughters rose against him. War returned with a vengeance, and annihilation reached new heights. Desperate to safeguard Sigurd's legacy, the wizard Maxos sought the help of the one child that never betrayed his father, Sigurd and Aurora's son, the half-dragon prince. He would be the one to save the empire from ruin, and to aid him in his quest, Maxos delivered unto him the imperial command ship known as the Raven. This is the story of Maxos and the Dragon. This is the story of the Dragon Commander.
That certainly was an intro, not really sure what to make of it right now. Emperor's popularity among dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead. So we got a whole lot of fantasy tropes going in here. Sigurd the First Emperor, murdered, go to war, blah blah blah. Good for them.
Welcome, noble dragon, to the Raven. This wonder of engineering, this miracle wrought in magic that has a living demon for a heart. Between the knowledge I shall pry from this infernal creature's cryptic mind and the avalanche of tomes, manuscripts, and blueprints aboard awaiting study, we will catch up with our enemies in no time and claim back the lands they have taken by force. Our task is monumental, but we will not have to face it alone. Two famed generals are here already, loyal to the legacy we are trying to save, and therefore loyal to you, given time. I have furthermore enlisted the service of Grumio, an imp of devilish cunning that can fashion anything my research will uproot. Already, he has created you a wonder he calls a jet pack.
Excuse me?
Talk to these men, get your bearings, and begin your conquest. If you have any more questions, you can find me in the royal chamber, which I shall use as a study. Good luck, dragon. May the divines be with you.
I feel like I've jumped in halfway through a setting. Is this a sequel to something? Okay, left click on characters, talk with them, strategy globe, strategy map. Okay, so I'm starting to think this is a strategy game. Find Maxus, new types, and okay, great. You there. No, they don't want to talk. Do you want to talk? Does anyone want to talk?
Let me tell your right of the bat bastard that I hold you in very little regard. Your father may have been a great king once, but this last decade, a crowned pig would have played the part better. He became a vainglorious fool, a sloth, and a coward. No wonder then that his own children could amass armies unperceived and strike at the heart of a kingdom in a matter of days. He tried to run, but he failed, and they slew him where he stood. Now the realm has been shattered, and vultures are picking what they can from his corpse by means of new and terrifying war machines.
I should gut you on the spot. That's my father you're talking about.
I'd say all is lost, but Maxos insists you are to be the one, the hero who will take back the land we've lost. Excuse me if I laugh in derision. Still, you are a dragon, I'll give you that, and of ancient blood. Prove to me you have the rocks to do undaunted battle, and perhaps my respect may still be yours. Aye, and you have titles as well, but none of them king, as yet. I'll address you with the right regard the day you prove worthy of it. Henry of the House of Lansford. More you needn't know.
More I don't particularly want to know. Wasn't I meant to go and talk to somebody else here? Oh, perhaps maybe at the bar. And have a drink. Oh Christ, no.
And there we have it, I suppose. The dragon's son.
No, 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 bye.
Greetings, sire, sprung from kings. I am Grumio, son of Gromio, an imp of good and honest standing. Your technician, shall I be, if it pleases you? Your engineer and architect.
Yeah, I think you're in the wrong game. Fable is down the hallway.
I hope you'll like my jetpack. It is my gift to you, to keep without recompense, for gladly shall I remain aboard this wondrous ship, to tinker and toy, hammer and hew. She is special, this vessel, filled with wonders undiscovered. The wizard, he feels it too. The taste, the tingle of mystery. Oh, to unlock its secret.
Just back away here. I think we were told the Royal Chamber is the place to go. You again.
Never hesitate to seek my counsel, Dragon Knight. Tirelessly I study and question, in the knowledge that my discoveries will make you the mightiest dragon ever to have soared the skies. We too shall unite dragons' daring with wizard's wisdom. Nothing shall stand in your way.
If I'm to understand this rightly, you want to strap a jetpack up my cloaca and send me flying, so forgive my hesitation here.
In a few words, victory and destruction. First, we must vanquish all warring rivals for the throne. Then, we must undo the technology that enabled them to go to war in the first place. We will rekindle the Empire of Peace your father founded, and be rid of the apparatus that might threaten it once more. That is quite a tale, my friend, so bear with me. Since the dawn of time, beautiful Rivellon has been a stage of bitter rivalry, strife, and war. Haughty humans, all too lofty lizards, dogged dwarves, erratic elves, irrational imps, dogmatic undead, and yes, wayward wizards even, couldn't forego the time it takes for the moon to wax and wane without turning to fresh violence. Peace. The word itself hardly had a meaning. It was an abstract. Until after long and dark ages, 3 men decided they had had enough. I was one of them. The other 2 were your
Right, that is quite enough of that. Let's go and actually play some game here. New dragon skills can be unlocked. Spending points, great. Give me the ability of Rejuvenation and Soaring and Blood Leeching. That didn't work the way I wanted it to, did it? No, wait, we have a cards menu? Oh no, I hate deck builder games. Oh, crock. Oh, this is just getting better and better. Okay, let's just back away and go and find something to do. Right, during the strategy phase, build units and buildings, play cards, and conquer countries to expand your empire and its resources, overthrow enemy capitals, win. Don't forget to defend your own. When you're finished playing your turn... So is it turn-based? Is this just Civ again? Fantasy Civ with deck building elements? Jake, you didn't select any of the abilities. I don't doubt that, but I couldn't figure out how to get back to that screen. Hold the left mouse button, move the mouse wheel, navigate the map. Okay. Ooh, look at that zooming. That tasteful mix of 2D and Turn of the Millennium 3D. This kind of strikes me more like Risk than anything. Oh god. It's hex-based. You can try and smooth your borders all you want, but I know a hex-based map when I see one. Know your enemy. Oh my god, and we've got freaking elves. Okay, well... what do we do? We can play our cards. We can increase our revenue. Yeah, sure, why not? Did you notice the undo button? Nope. You can use that if you're not satisfied with a move. There's the undo. What else can I do? Can buy myself some units, spend gold, buy units. Not sure if this is more like risk then. I do like risk. So what, should I get myself a couple of troopers? Grenade sounds fun. Okay, don't know if that's going to help in any way, but let's end that turn. You can see the moves your enemies are making, skip them by pressing the skip button. So they're building themselves a tavern, you guys are just moving around, good for you. I can see what they're doing over here. I don't know if the chat is obfuscating anything of importance. Maybe it is. I don't know where to put you then. I'll shove you down there for now. Nobody likes me. Dead Emperor's bastard son gets wizard's backing. Oh, we just come straight back here. So I guess we have our little dating sim stuff that goes on here and some actual strategizing that goes on there. Maybe I need some counsel.
What? Oh, do forgive me, my friend. I was so lost in thought, not even an elven ranger could have led me out of its wilderness. My privilege, Commander.
Ah, so this is where I get my skills then. A dragon's passive health regeneration is improved. Yeah, sure, give it to me. And then, where's my... here are my research points, right. Blood Leech sounds cool. Give me Blood Leech. And inspire friendly unit, firing rate by 200%. Oh, wait, for 38 seconds with a cooldown of 13 seconds. What? I don't like the sound of this at all.
Praise be that I know my privilege.
All units in a 1700 meter radius around you get a 60%. Yeah, it would just give me a permanent boost there. Okay, how do I do anything then? Each country you conquer starts earning you gold. The longer you hold a country, the better your defenses in that country will be. Each country is populated by certain species. Your popularity is shown at the bottom of the screen. Higher your popularity, the more support. Okay. Well, surely I'd want to nibble off this area since it is isolated from the rest. And that gives me a lovely choke point to hold, although I have no idea if this map is going to be used in that way or if just bundles of land are exactly that. So how do I do anything? Can I go and attack you here? Can I move my... Oh! Yeah, let's go. This is a neutral country. If you capture it, it becomes yours. Oh, okay, well, let's take it. Army splitter. No idea. Just go for it. So, you guys are moving in here. Where's me, though? Do I have any cards to play? No. Alright, so mayhaps I can just come over and steal this neutral county. Game name? It's twice in the title, but it's called Divinity Dragon Commander. Right. No, still so-so. Emperor indecisive. Demands newspaper to inspire rather than ridicule. Just like the dragon does, we ridicule Maxis grammar. Loaf of bread looks like... this looks like such a mixed bag of a game. So am I not actually going to fight? Or did I just move in and... Oh, we just moved in and instantly took it. You've acquired a transport, you can load units. Okay, well, good for me. Perhaps what I want to do is go on the attack here. Be like a lion, hunt with your maximum... Wait, what? Maybe I should leave that transport there. This seems neutral as well. I might be able to go and head on over there. Actually, if I had my transport here with you as well, then it might be useful to bring you over to here afterwards. Naval units, aerial units can only engage in unit. God, maybe I could actually have a fight, so I know how anything works. Sabotage. Troopers in select country won't be able to move this round. I'm not really sure that's going to be useful for me. Hard to say. Okay. Is there a combat round or... Okay, this is an overview where battle's going to happen. Final tactical insights before the fight. Okay, so there will be a fight. If you finish viewing the map, press the button, continue going to battle. Right, this is where we're going to have a fight. I don't even know what to make of this. Let's just go and see what it's all about. Who will lead the combat? Select your dragon if you want to participate in combat yourself. You can play cards and improve odds in your favor. Single player can swap or remove freaking cards. A mercenary transport fights on my side. A zeppelin. Yeah, give me a zeppelin. No. Yeah. And I want to... Oh, I want to do it myself, of course, although Edmund could help out. Henry could help out. The Imperial Army could help out. How about everybody helps out? No, actually, we don't get to choose multiple. Well, I want to see how we do. Let's say we're ready, and hope there's a way to save when we get into the fight. Which dragon skills will be available? Oh my god, is this gonna WoW style have abilities down here for me? Better position my left hand on all these hotkeys that I'll forget. I better keep my hand on the axe back button. Catarl, shift home, shift, shift. Oh no, 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 not control groups. Ah. Okay, can I, like, press escape and save my game pretty swiftly? Does oh, WASD moves us, that's a good sign.
Here's to you, sire.
Oh my god, it is an RTS! It's a deck building hex-based RTS TBS. Was this game just tailor-made to be anti-me? Oh, okay, how do we even do anything?
Let's get started, Commander. Now, to navigate your camera, simply use the movement keys. To look around, hold the middle mouse button and move your mouse in the direction you want to look. To command a unit to move somewhere, left-click on the desired unit to select it, and right-click on the destination you want it to go to. You can select multiple units by holding the left mouse button.
Okay, this is basic RTS stuff, I at least know that.
I see you've selected a building.
I have not.
When you select a building, a menu appears which allows you to create new units. Here I've selected a battle forge, which allows me...
I don't even want to see this. Can we just go and bung all of our units at the enemy and win? Where even is the enemy? They appear to be on the prowl, sire. Is there a pause button? The dragon is preparing for battle. Please wait some seconds more. Oh.
Free as a bird to uncharted lands.
In a straight line now.
Is that a tree? Well, not anymore.
There's no pause. Well, escape doesn't do anything for me. The F buttons? All of them? Oh, of course, F10. F10 is the game menu. And I can't save in the middle of all of this. Could I at least maybe... up the speech so we can all enjoy that, and maybe drop the music a little bit. Oh yeah, gotta get those reactions up.
Go on, give me a target. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, without a trace.
Holy Christ almighty.
They can carry troops right across the seas with their transports, Commander.
Well, so they can. Let's make sure they have a failed beachhead. Okay.
Who needs spying?
I hope these units are really good. My god, the camera moves so slowly.
Now,
There we go, go and ravage these things.
the Emperor shows us the way.
Can you also take care of this?
Let's get this dance of death started.
How are these guys doing? Ah, they seem pretty alive to me.
I hunt for your glory.
Press R to spawn your trap. Oh! What? What? What the hell? I love RTSs now. Okay, I have abilities, right? What do they do? How do I come out of this and make my units fight for themselves again? Or is it just all dragon all the time? I don't really know what this is doing. I'm doing my dragon morphing ability. Well, that was something, I'm sure. Are they even gonna fight back? This feels ever so slightly unfair. I'm guessing that's my dragon health there, sitting at 2,420 and not being whittled away at all. Are you friend or foe? You're red, so you're probably enemies. Ah, but what if my enemy is creating these units? How do I get out of the dragon form? I don't know. Maybe I can just like go over here and start shooting more things. Okay, now they're actually hurting me a bit. Let's skedaddle. I don't know what button got me into this. Was it R?
Impossible, Commander.
Okay, move further away to exit dragon mode.
Impossible, Commander.
Okay, there we go. No longer a dragon. I fear that all the time I was running around being a dragon was time that they were able to just...
One leg at a time.
Ooh, could I do my own naval invasion then?
Service, won't that use too much fuel?
There'd better be a tavern.
Okay.
You set the trap, I'll make the kill.
Army comparison says they're twice as strong as we are.
Yeah, I love traveling. Free as a bird. I'm all eyes and ears.
Prime function is increasing the fire... Oh, right, so you just improve firing rate. Gotcha. Well, these guys are going to get flattened, I'm sure. Perhaps what they need is a dragon to help them out. Bye-bye, dragon. Oh, bye-bye units. Well, I hope that naval invasion of mine is going well.
Off we go.
Perhaps hope is all I had. Okay, so how do I continue to produce units and things? I can build battle forges.
It'll be built in a jiffy. Construction in progress.
Looks like stuff I should have done from the very start.
It'll be built in a jiffy. Construction underway, Commander.
I could imagine that if you're an RTS player, you'd love this. It's got everything.
Battle forge completed. Anti-ground turret completed.
These hotkeys are so bad that I wouldn't know.
Completed.
My minutes per action wouldn't allow me to suss them out anyway. Not sure I ever will at this rate, Max. It's definitely an RTS for people who loathe RTS games. Okay, so this is most certainly a loss. I got nothing to throw at them unless my dragon can... Ooh! My dragon is back in action. I wonder if I could play this without having to actually give any orders to units. That'd be nice. Oh, can we... Could we gain control of things ourselves? No, it appears not. They are billions looks pretty different today. Are the snipers ready? What do you want me to say? Maybe this game is going to be like Cortex Commander, where it has a small, dedicated bunch of people who think it's the best game ever, but in reality it's full of flaws. I'm not into RTS, so I can't really judge. Did they just seize control of my own gun here? How dare they? Make haste. If your team doesn't act in the next... Oh, bye-bye. We never looked... Well, I think this is where I started rampaging them with my dragon. And this is where I didn't keep up the pressure using my actual units, so they just started out-producing. And I didn't produce anything. I don't even know how. Well, my armies are actually still alive, largely. Good for them. Terrible truth behind the Empire's losses. At least I'm still relatively popular. What does my friend have to say about this?
Praise be that I know more than 100 languages older than mankind itself. If not, these books would mean very little to me indeed. Long have I asked myself that question. Yet the answer is as simple as it is obvious. Human nature. Love, jealousy, anger, grief. All of these emotions proved more fatal to the stability of peace than 100,000 war machines could. You see, Sigurd, the architect, and I remained close friends after our quest had come to completion. But then, one fateful day, a woman of unequaled beauty arrived at court. After but a glance, there wasn't a man's heart in the room, not aching for even her mildest attention or a most fleeting caress. Your father, though married, courted her, as did the architect. For myself, I'd admit I'd given up the very secrets of magic in return for her love, but I knew rivalry could only lead to misery. And so it did. For bitter rivals, my two friends became. And when, in the end, Sigurd was the one to win her affections, the architect left the palace with such hatred in his eyes as to strike me as diabolical. A year their secret liaison lasted. 1 year your father and beautiful Aurora were happy together. Then suddenly she died. And it took me a long time to find out she did so at the hand of the architect. Sigurd never knew. He was destroyed by grief. The mighty warlord withered, and with him, the soul of his empire flickered like a candle in the breeze, until his own children blew it out forever, and hacked to pieces the land that was to have been his legacy.
Okay, what am I meant to make of any of this? I'm meant to make that I should be a better fighter. Don't know how though. I don't have RTS skills. Where are my units anyway? I was told there were survivors, right? Oh well, what I can do is just build up here. Buildings, countries, strategic advantages, one per... You can only have one building per country. Dragon skill cards, mercenary cards, strategy cards, naval units, generate unit acquisition and cards. This I guess is our war chest. Ah well, give me a wizard tower. Time spent in dialogue is time spent away from the battlefield, very true. Oh god, wait, what? Oh right, I had no units in my own capital. They stole all my gold, all my research points, and
so our story ends with the tragic death of the Dragon Prince, and how Rivellon was consumed by eternal war. Wait, hold on an instant. That's not what really happened.
What? This is a mixed bag, alright. Crikey, maybe I should have played the tutorial. Oh, God, this looks like it would take the full 2 hours anyway. Don't want to, really don't want to. Just tell me about dragon gameplay.
Now for some advanced techniques, Commander. It is possible for you to control your units while you're in dragon form. You can select units in your direct vicinity by pressing the assigned key. Here, for instance, I've selected a group of units and indicated that they need to go and capture that shipyard over there, while I fly off to do something else, like shooting these annoying troopers. There are many shortcuts in Dragon Commander, and it pays to learn them all, to optimally enjoy the game and rule the skies.
Optimally enjoy this game. Make that sound like a challenge. Okay, once more into the breach, shall we? Right. Well, we're gonna stick around with Crookers. What was the number again? Why do people put numbers in their names? It was Crookers 47. Wrong, Singus. And maybe they'll just tone this down a lot. And it'll ottle black bottle, it'll ottle you. Should we watch the intro again? It was a pretty good intro.
Thousands of years ago, Sigurd I built incredible
God, how do I
war.
pass it? There we go. Punching my keyboard until something ended that.
Welcome, noble dragon.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you, he became a...
And there...
There you go. No smoking indoors, sunshine. Right, we can get ourselves some skills. We don't know if any of them are any good, but... Fire a beam at a friendly unit or allied dragon increases its damage by... What's that? What's these values? Just make me go faster. And that seems fine as well. I will forget these things constantly, though.
Greetings, sire, sprung from...
No, no, we've heard you before. Oh, hang on, we didn't look at this before, did we? Technology. Another use for research points. Anti-air turrets, transports, shamans, hunters. Just yawning in anticipatory excitement for the game. Your troopers can take over enemy buildings. Multiple troopers go quicker. Troopers travel. Well, sounds like troopers will be fine for us then. Oh. Now let's go and check out that map, shall we? Multiple tabs of unit research there. Yeah, could not care less. Better hit F10 for the game menu. Let's get ourselves a new save. I can press escape to come out of the menu though. So it's XCOM over Lair of Risk, over Lair of Command and Conquer, over Lair of Ace Combat, says Helden. Funny, I don't like any of the... Well, no, I like Risk, but I like playing Risk on an actual board. I don't think I've ever played a digital version of Risk. So, we need to keep our place here defended, or else it gets attacked. Doesn't seem to be relevant where they go on this. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Thinking about it, was the fight that we had here in any way representative of the shape of the board here? I didn't pay heed to it. Maybe it does matter where you put units on this. Right, we like troopers apparently. In any given, you can only build as many units per turn as the number of gold that is earned there each round. How much gold do we make? I don't know, but get me these things. Maybe we could play a card while we're at it. Increase gold revenue. Yeah, I want gold. Give me gold. Who is this game made for? I don't know. After this I might have to go and look at the Steam page and see what other people have to say about it.
What? Oh, do forgive me, my friend. I was so lost in...
Actually, I wonder if I can just go through everything that you're saying here. Tell me once again about the Simp Wars.
What? My studies have been highly interesting of late. I promise I will tell you in due time. For now, I must keep silent. Please, don't press me any further on the... No one in Rivellon, save for you, Sigurd, the architect, and I, know of Aurora, and how her death affected your father. As far as most are concerned, he was a great hero, who all too soon fell prey to indulgence, sloth, and alcohol, which lost him the affection of his children, and in time started the war. They are wrong, but truth will be revealed one day.
Not if I get shanked in the first mission. Okay, let's, speaking of mission, get to... Oh right, I should definitely be going and taking that neutral county. If no one's gonna stop me. You go over there and take that for me, please. So is that me splitting off one to take it? Yeah, probably. Can I make more units? Surely more units are better units. What is this? Ah, shows you what kind of unit it is. This is meant to be telling me. It's good against lightly armored units, that's what I recall being told. Trooper and trooper, but I think this just shows troopers that are being made. How many troopers? They got 3 troopers over there. I bet I could spread out here and start taking them as well. There we go. Send out 5 units of my troopers over there and take this over like it's not even there. Yeah. Maybe I should save before this brilliant tactical maneuver. Bringing in reinforcements. Right, so what's the situation for this battle? Yeah, it looks like we have the advantage, right? I have even more an advantage if I tell wage exceeds the amount of gold you could. Yeah, I have to pay them wages? Ah, these guys will auto-resolve it. How much money do I have? Unlock Devastation Dragon skill. No, not that. Show me some other cards. 5 Trooper Mercenaries. Fight on your side. Grenadier. Yeah, give me the Grenadiers. Why not? To battle. Ah, okay. So if I don't go myself, then it will auto-resolve. How could we lose the setup like this? How is it even possible? What about the fourth option? What's sending in the army itself? Unsure about that. Auto-resolve is what I did for years ago when I played this. The RTS elements are not good. So the game is fun as long as you don't play it. That would have improved They Are Billions, that's for sure.
Here's to you, sire.
Please don't talk.
No mountain can stop us.
Can we just go in and mow these people down? That'd be nice. Actually, we had a way to do this with our...
Impossible, Commander. There is no reason to doubt your insight, sir.
There'd better be a tavern.
The grave be their destiny. The Emperor shows us the way.
No mountain can stop us.
Reinforcements requested. The enemy can build troopers now. There is no reason to doubt your insight, sir.
Damn right there's not.
Impossible, Commander. Enemy troopers can now capture our buildings.
In a straight line now.
Pure brilliance. What's over here? Something red. Hopefully they're not putting that to use.
I will stand until my last breath.
There we go, that's much more befitting of my skill level. Alright, so we lost a couple, they lost a fair bit. Shame we don't get to capture their stuff. Winning more territories does not help the Empire with its personality crisis, sneers Seer. I'm still not very popular with anybody.
Great Dragon, glorious warlord. Once more you return from the battlefield red with the blood of slain adversaries. And let me tell you, these victories of yours have not gone by unnoticed. In fact, to my great satisfaction, another pair of dauntless generals has joined our company. 4 military masterminds are now on board, more than enough to start a campaign of conquest on a truly grand scale. No doubt you're as anxious to meet them as they are to meet you. So why don't you go to the throne room, where I've instructed them to await your arrival? Heavens no. You have the military firmly on your side. But civil emissaries, too, are bound to join our cause in due time. Indeed, I expect you'll be declared Emperor before long. Yes, you heard me correctly. Emperor. It is inevitable. People have heard of you. The Dragon. Their one hope of deliverance from war, oppression, and death. Soon hope will turn into confidence. And when ambassadors of the civilized races flock to the Raven, your political career will commence. You yourself will of course represent all humans, but the dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead will want their say as well, and more. Still, let us worry about politics later. Today, it is your generals that count.
So, in addition to being Risk, XCOM, Command and Conquer. God knows what else. It's also going to be a political sim, like, I don't know, Democracy? This game's intimidating. Also, all that because I won one fight.
Allow me to present your team of generals. Edmund, you already know, but I now have the pleasure of introducing you to Her Highness Lady Catherine, Queen of Westbridge, and Scarlet, not noble of birth, but the more so of heart. We four have pledged we will stand by you in your conquest as the rightful heir to Revlon's throne. Bastard no longer, you shall be known as Commander, until the day comes that you shall be king. All hail the dragon.
He did a 180 just because I won one battle by throwing my units away.
Hail!
Oh Christ.
Hail!
Yes, well, hail.
I just back away now. Cover myself in a blanket and chuck myself out the airlock.
Yes, Commander. Seemed hardly proper to call you by that particular pet name on what was somewhat of an official occasion. But don't worry, I may still slip up once or twice, even though my respect for you is in fact growing. You've got a knack for bloody brutal battle, and faint heart never won fair victory.
How's it hanging, Commander? I'm Scarlet, and you're a dragon, they tell me. Always wanted to ride one of those, though I bet you're a little harder to handle than a horse. All part of the fun, though, I reckon, so give me a...
Go away.
I would say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Commander. But as it stands, I must approach you with a bit of reserve. True, to know we have a dragon knight for a leader is a great relief. For such a grand creature inspires bravado in the many hearts that will have to be won so that we may overthrow the...
Next.
Then again, you are the offspring.
It's going to take some getting used to, you know, to call you Commander. Verily, I was rather opposed to the notion, but Maxos in his infinite wisdom insisted we up the level of common courtesy toward you. Commoner would have done. Commander, though, it shall be. As much as it is in the eagle's nature to look down upon the world in hunt of lesser creatures, it is my genius that makes me soar high above all others. Lesser creatures indeed. At the lone top do I reside, but I would have it no other way. Those who do not understand, all but everyone, calls me a loner, thinking the word to be a pejorative. But it is on the contrary glorious to live in sweet isolation when all around you non-lizards, that is to say, inferiors, skitter and crawl like vermin. I am a solitudinarian, for my nature makes me so. And when I do have contact with those I loathe, inevitably I talk down to them as it is impossible to communicate on a level of equality when there is none to be had.
I gotta say, my future boots and bag has it all sorted out. Okay, let's get away from Mass Effect 4 here and see if the engineer's got another rocket to shove right up me.
It's wondrous, my lord. Wondrous. The Raven, she speaks to me in my dreams. She tells me fantastic things, newfangled and new formed. I can make them all for you if you provide the right resources. Indeed she does, my lord. A soft voice sings inside my head, but only when I'm in the land of eyes shut and mind at rest. There, she guides me to glory. Shows me things not even wizards could dream of. Well, my lord, when your good father and Maxos first started to conquer the world with their fancy machines, we Emps were mesmerised. None of us cared if we were being drafted into a strange warlord's empire, for if those were the weapons he wielded, we were all ready to welcome him with open arms. By golly, were we ever. Steam-driven giants on land, on sea, even in air. Oh, the ecstasy! Such wonders, such ingenuity, and jeepers, what cannons! Ever since then, some 30 years hence, us imps have dedicated our existence to the advancement of these delightful machines. Now, before those blessed days arrived, people regarded us as eccentric gnomes taken to experimenting with flame, gas, and liquid like so many charlatan alchemists, but Those days are over. We are scientists now, famed and fortuitous. The truth be told, though, we've never quite given up our love for all things combustible. Rather on the contrary. Not that you mind, do you, my lord?
I'm sure you agree with me, Helden, but this game pretty much is Mass Effect. Just switch away the strategy stuff for cover-based shooter stuff, and it's exactly the same. Same quality of writing as well. Right, well, can't research anything else here. Probably don't care about the rest of the stuff, too expensive to even think about. And let's get down to the bridge and consider our next plan of attack, insofar as we can call it a plan. Save and save often, though. I hate cover-based shooting myself. Yeah, not my first port of call for a game. Okay, what do we have here? Hunter, transport, trooper. But knowing that people can navally invade places leaves me a little iffy about leaving places undefended. But look at this, well, no, not undefended. But it's only a single trooper. What if I moved all of my troopers over here, whilst I... Oh, I'd need to build the ability to make more things, wouldn't I? Which means it would be most prudent to shove over 3 of you here for defense, and I can use cards to bolster that defense. As for you, I'll send in both of my hunters, and... Oh, that's a little too light, isn't it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No need for you to go running around like that. I'll just send in for here. I'd rather take this nice and easily, but I need to buy as many units as I can. This music is... The heck is this music? Let me cram it up for you. That is some level of audio molestation. Helden thinks it's vibing. Chumro thinks it's horrendous. Alright, do I actually have any money at all? I'll make another couple troopers. Can't go wrong just spamming troopers everywhere, right? Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, he's going out to sea. And you are assembling an army worthy of Mordor? So, what's the situation in this fight? Oh, well, overwhelming victory for us, and I have people that I can make fight for me. Scarlet would do it automatically, but I would do it for free. The Imperial Army is like me. It doesn't offer any bonus here, but it does auto-resolve for me. Yeah, I'll auto-resolve in a fight that I definitely don't want to do. For now, I'm sure I can handle this. As vibing as Helden's parties. Helden's Mass Effect kept me up until like 3 AM. It was good though. And already he's talking about how the next Mass Effect run that he wants to do. Come on, there are other games out there, Helden. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, well, how about you just go over there and win for me, please? Don't go too fast, though. I want to deploy my dragon form at some point. Still don't really understand how I'm meant to build units. Seems like that might be a vital part of it all. Sell the building, gain 10 recruits. Really? Where are my recruits? I don't see any recruits.
Troopers awaiting your decision, sire. Battle forge completed.
Don't know why you shoot that when you could. Ah, what the hell?
The grave be their destiny.
Man, I'm good.
Is that a tree? Well, not anymore. Death before failure.
Alright. And now I too can join the Fray Bentos.
That's impossible, Commander.
Oh, I need my recruitment place that I destroyed in order to deploy myself as a dragon.
Let's get this dance of death started.
Amazing. Well, we lost nothing, they lost everything. Good result. Can't wait to be praised by everybody for my brilliance.
Ah, Commander. No doubt you've had an eventful and successful day so far. But don't rest on your laurels just yet. For I'm here to inform you the counselors have arrived. The ambassadors of the races whom you'll have to duel and deal with in the political arena. Such is both the prerogative and the burden of an emperor-to-be. You may think your first duty is that of conquest, to bring the war to as swift an end as possible. But I'm afraid there is much more to being a monarch than military matters alone. As a commander, as an emperor, you'll have to constantly endeavor to find that delicate balance between your roles as strategist and statesman, for the one necessarily influences the other. Now, you may consider it strange that some will worry about the price of bread, and others will gripe about taxes, when all around us, machines of war threaten the existence of the very realm. But if you give it a moment's further thought, this is only logical. We may find ourselves trapped amid a conflict of gargantuan proportions. But that does not mean the average man worries most about feeding his family, about the little things that make for a happy life. And when you have been given an empire, Commander, you have to be responsible for every matter, every obstacle, every creature, great and small. This may seem daunting, but I have never and never will doubt for even an instant that you, of all people, will rise to the occasion. Your counselors await you in the throne room, Commander. Godspeed.
We've not heard of delegation here? Okay, we are required, eh? Well, why don't we not go there? Speak to our little gobbo first.
Shall I tell you about the dreams I had, my lord, or had you rather we move right on to business? Without delay, my lord.
I have no idea which... Wait, imp binoculars? Attack range seems pretty good, but I don't use grenadiers. Perhaps someday I will. A war factory unit acquisition allows the construction of hunters in your war factories. Aren't those what I use right now, though? No, I use troopers. Crikey, I have no idea. But I can make grenadiers. Let's give them those binoculars you speak of.
Aha! Shush, everyone, shush! Here comes the long-awaited commander. The dragon that would deliver us from vile usurpers. The one deserving heir to Rivellon's throne.
Didn't realize we'd have midget Alex Salmon in this game.
Let me cut right to the chase, Commander, for I'm not a man who takes pride in his words, but in his pragmatism, rather. The entire realm is under siege, and the free peoples left need a strong leader. One who inspires. You see, there may be a war going on, Commander, but that doesn't mean you don't have a realm to rule. Oftentimes, political concerns will take precedence over military ones, no matter how trivial they may sometimes seem in these dark times. As much as possible, where your rule has been established, everyday life must continue like it would in times of peace, and everyday life concerns itself with everyday worries. The people will look to you for guidance in these matters. We, as their representatives, have witnessed your triumphs with mounting awe, and have agreed you are to be the one, the hero, who shall both restore the kingdom and recommence the workings of government. I therefore declare you Emperor. Long live the Emperor! Long live the Emperor!
I'm not sure who gave this pint-sized Scot the authority to name the Emperor, but, well, whatever. Oh dear God, no. Where's my airlock? Okay. Councillors will bring you various political problems. If you do not make a decision, the majority vote will always carry them. Okay. One saving grace of the punishment games is that sometimes people watching them suffer more than I do. It's going to be a hard one to call for this one, though. Alright, you look like the best of a bad bunch here, Skelly.
May the Seven be praised now that we have found our champion and our emperor. May the fire of the dragon obliterate every heretic in its way. May the light of the gods illuminate your soul. The highest. We are the chosen of the Seven, Commander. We are those that have known death, have walked its black shores, but then have been restored to life. You think you are alive now, Commander, but you are not. You are but in the phase of flesh. Yet if you are devout and sweat in service of the Seven, you too, after the Dark Mother has lulled you to sleep, may be plucked from the dales of shadow and given the perpetuity of the bone.
I'm feeling incredibly uncomfortable at how malleable his dried out gums are. Those teeth are just crushing themselves together.
Do well by the gods, Commander, and you'll do well by us, as well as all in the realm. We have many proposals to that effect, which I will bring before you in due time. So say I, Yorick, humble servant of the Seven. Honored to meet you, Commander.
By the powers vested in me by the great lizard lords, I, Prosper, endorse your newfound emperorship. Sorely we are in need of it. We are not a people that make great demand. The dwarves risen and...
By Grumio's gadgets, it's a pleasure indeed to shake hands with you, Commander. Your technician is my nephew, don't you know? And I am Trunculo Shortfuse, son of Trunculo Even Shorter Fuse. Praised be the dragon! Ha! You want gizmos? You want imps. You want the unthinkable? You want imps. You want great, big, loud, bright fire explosions? Lords above, it's imps you want. We live for all that is new and shiny. The old, we blow it up. The new, we study it for a while before we blow it up. Why? Because there's always something even newer waiting around the corner. Science, Great Dragon, never sits still. Try, investigate, experiment. And with a bit of luck, boom! Ha ha ha! A bigger bang than ever. On a more serious note though, Commander, science is indeed our passion. And we hope that under your rule, we will be free to explore its limits. Damn the gods, for there are none, and damn petty morality, for it is a brake on progress. Back us, and we'll craft you miracles.
Yeah, that is actually your aristocrat. He's been huffing the helium of a few balloons, but otherwise that is just him.
Isn't this a world gone topsy-turvy? I've declared you Emperor, and you don't even know my name. Sir Falstaff Silvervein, Commander. Born and bred neath the Emerald Mountains. There. Now that we've been acquainted, I do declare it's time for a beer. A prouder folk you'll ne'er meet, Commander, nor a more robust one. Best allies an aspiring king can have, for our love of gold and all things precious is legendary, and gold is what an emperor needs if it be conquest that takes his fancy. So listen when I give advice, for your economy will prosper by it. Liquid gold, of course, is another of our pride and joys. For ale a sparkle, we'd go to war. But our families, above all, Commander, are holy. Those manifold kernels that band together, and like the rings that form a chain mail, shape a society that is stout and steadfast. Yes, dwarven families grow as plenty as the grain on 1,000 wheat fields. And just like grain, it is from them that we derive the bread that nourishes civilization, and the beer that quenches its thirst.
Gotta remember, for all that you don't like stereotypes, they are based on fact. Okay, let's just back away from this cosplaying council of weirdos and go to war. They didn't seem to have any pressing matters they wanted to show at me, so we will continue to save and save often. And continue our incredibly well-oiled conquest spree. They brought around some actual units here. Not sure I can handle that. Ooh, got myself a bunch of troopers here, but that's or the defense. What's my best offense idea here? I could build up another factory full of units to spout out, potentially around here, because that way it can go to here, here, and here quite quickly. So if I build a war factory... Oh, crikey, that just drank my money, didn't it? Gold total, gold income per turn. So I have 6 and I make 11. Making 11 is rather nice. But which place makes me how much? Do I have a way of seeing the gold income? Yeah, it's at the bottom there, isn't it? You make 2, 2, 4, 3. So maybe if I have a card that boosts income. I don't appear to have any cards for some reason. Or at least none that can be used in this phase. I'm a little tempted to just go on the rampage here. Grabbing that war factory would be rather nice. 2 troopers, a grenadier, and a hunter. And what can I throw at you? Not a lot. The alternative is go and fight here. I could consolidate all of my units over to it, and I doubt that this place will be under threat. Although, look at this. I could go and take this neutral place. No one's gonna... Oh, here's another neutral place. It's got armor, though. I don't know if it's gonna fight back. What if I take a trooper into you, and then send you over here? There we go, that should secure us that, no problem. And then I can sail you over here and take this afterwards. That leaves you horrifically under-defended though, so I want to grab just 1 extra trooper over there. How about this? Do we feel ballsy enough to take this on? I feel somewhat ballsy. I'm going to take 2 of my troopers from here. And all of my troopers from here. Almost all of my troopers from here. And march on in. Is this the lair of the Skelly people? Maybe I just want to have an alliance with them. Oh god, they're bringing a fair few in. So what's the story here? Oh, it's not good. How much money do I have? Well, this is why we have cards, right? 5 trooper mercenaries. And let's tell... Well, I'd like my cheapest person to do it. Scarlet is pretty cheap. You'll get that auto-resolved no problem, right? The Imperial Army could do it and I wouldn't have to pay them. And I do like not paying. Yeah, on you go, you'll be fine. Come on, don't let us down. Brilliant! Didn't need to pay anybody, and it's our glorious victory. That was some real tense combat. Feeling that one. Dragon Knight declared Emperor. Winged Love Child is Empire's last hope. I kind of own most of the Empire by now. Every decision you make regarding your council, generals, and queen will have consequence, my queen. Decisions will generate cards and or gameplay disadvantages. Furthermore, influence, yeah, okay, good for us.
Commander, it is imperative that we should win the war. For our enemies are godless heathens in need of annihilation. To hasten this process, I therefore propose we introduce conscription. For why have young, able-bodied men sit around or do menial tasks when they could be serving in your armies instead?
Perhaps we could enter the bones, though. Yeah, he's got a few screws loose. A race's attitude towards you determines how much support you will receive in combat, fighting their lands, councillors, da-da-da-da-da. So, will we introduce conscription? Well, it'll make him happy, right? So, I wanna start flirting with Yorick. Oh, alas, poor.
Bravo, Commander. Nothing like fresh blood to reinvigorate the military. A lot of it will be spilled, yes, but in service of the Seven, that is an honor, not a sacrifice.
Okay, so surely I've made the Bone Boys happy. The quieter Oberon is, the more I think I like him. Can we go hang out at the bar? I feel like I could do with a few. I need a queen.
Well, 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 the Dragon Commander himself. Come, sit, drink with me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's had a few too many. But you take to the right too if you had an imp apparatus for an arm. Never told you how I came by this eyesore, did I?
So this is the voice actor behind Zaid, right, Helden? Same person.
'Twas during the great and glorious last stand to save the Empire. Horseshit. We fought like lions so that the king, your bloody father, could scarper with what riches he could hold. But my soldiers did their duty. They died where they stood, and I was left for dead, want of an eye and an arm. Not that any of it mattered. The king's head was shown decorating a stake, like star crowns will the pines come midwinter night. Defeat. Bah. Luckily, a touch of the malt can relieve its bitter taste. You have the respect of Maxos, and that certainly speaks in your favor. But you'll need to come a long way yet to prove unto me you're not just another pampered prince he yanked away from his mother's teat. So what'll you have then? Mead or milk?
A toast to triumph, Commander.
Triumph begets triumph, it seems. There's just no stopping you, is there? So. Steady as she goes and all that. Don't lose your nerve and plan ahead. Know when to be bold and when to take a step back, if you wish. She could stand to be a bit more ladylike in her ways, and many consider her resistance to authority counterproductive in a military setting. But she's wily as a...
Right, I cannot say I'm being drawn into this dating sim part of the game, so let's get out and go and use my RTS mastery somewhere. Oh, you're still here.
Sorry excuse for a general, Henry is. Drunk as a dwarf again, going on and on about his lost arm. The more liquor disappears down his throat, the more he can still feel it. Wish he had a phantom tongue instead of a phantom limb. The place would be so much quieter.
Right. God, how have you played this game, Max? I suppose you just gravitated towards dating sim. Okay, time for our brilliant choice of... Ooh, can I take the armor? I might actually want to keep this place a little bit garrisoned, right? Maybe I should leave the armor there. Don't really know how armor works, but if you come sailing down here, that could be a slight problem for me. Yeah, I'll leave the 2 armor there just to act as my defense. And see if I can't bring you over to here. Oh. I think you need to wait a bit before I can unload you there. That'll secure the south. I really need more units. I'm not sure just making troopers is going to get me through. I should add some grenadiers to the mix. And I do have the ability to make units here as well, right? Make myself a grenadier and a trooper. Gotta build up that army after all. Can I move them after they've been used? No, I cannot. Well, I'm about to have a fresh army put in here, so how about we have you... Can I put you over there? Was I actually going over here? No, I don't think it was. In that case, I should consider finishing the fight here first. Send all of you over there. making grenadiers and troopers here, so I will want you folks over to help out, and maybe... Can I undo you? Do I have to undo everything one at a time? Starting to think I should focus on a big attack here before I head on north. 3 troopers defending here, 1 trooper here. But I have a war factory, but I've got no blessed money. Oh well, that'll do. We'll see if anybody attacks us. They're certainly mobilizing on my border. Singus says he played this, but it was years ago. Remember liking everything except the RTS combat. How can that be? Ah, nice, the undead love me. Henry, unfit to be a general, but don't quote me on that. Lord, and confites. It's put on the front page. Policies have gotten me a summer sale on producing troopers. Motivation goes down. That must be the conscription thing I did, right? All pumped up. Troopers fire faster. That sounds very good. Is that because of the conversation and drink that I had with my general? Mayhaps. Goodness, we need a drink. Oh, they've got me cornered.
I must say, I don't envy Edmund, Commander. He's to bow and scrape afore an imp of all things. If 'twere any other general, I'd publicly protest. But that conceited tosser deserves to kiss dust once in a while. Remind him he walks the earth just like the rest of us. Well, except you, perhaps.
Imps, Commander. Are they not truly the lowliest of all the races? Were it not for the hint of demon cunning in their blood, we most probably wouldn't speak to them as much as serve them for supper with a series of seasonal stuffings. As it is, however, the Lizard Lords have deemed it fit to strengthen the military cooperation between ourselves and those demoniacal dewdrops. I'd exhale an existential sigh upon the hearing of such folly, yet give it no further thought but for one devilish detail in the treaty. It is I, as our foremost general, who must, quite literally, stoop to inspect their armies. An impish high priest will be present, figures fit for farce that are greeted and received with ridiculous amounts of highly ritualized protocol. As Henry might say, Commander, I'd rather lick marmalade from an orc's behind than bow to an imp. My very reason for currying your draconic benevolence at this hour. Certainly I have your blessing to abstain from these grotesque formalities and tend to business rather than etiquette.
I don't care if they have you jumping through hoops. Courtesy is demanded. You must... Oh, heavens no. Finally found a racist in the party. We've got to keep you around. Imps tend to overdo protocol, so tell you what, I'll lend you my signet ring when the ceremony starts. Hold up your hand and say that to waste your time is to waste the dragon's time. Yes, yes.
A most salubrious solution, Commander, for my well-being as well as theirs, for no doubt my patience would have worn very thin. Thin as the threads of life of those who were wearing it out.
What would you inquire of me, Commander?
Nothing.
Sup, Commander?
Even less. Okay, was that it?
My studies have been highly interesting of late, and have yielded results of great interest to you. Does he now? There's an explanation for that, but I'll reserve it for later.
He doesn't want to tell me anything until the time is right. Okay, what can we figure out here? This is just dragon stuff, and, well, we're not even getting enough time to use our dragon form in the fights. Engineering seems better suited.
Shall I tell you about the dreams I had, my lord, or it'll be my pleasure?
Okay. I could even afford something a little bit advanced. Okay, so armor, that's something we got a couple of units of. What do they do? Allows the construction of armor and war factories. These units have a powerful cannon, capable of greatly damaging slower enemies and enemy buildings. Strong against medium and heavies. Weak against troopers. Now I can use troopers to wipe out other troopers. Armors might be more useful otherwise. Strong against nothing. Mortars. Bombard enemy units over great distance. Hey, that sounds fun. We'll get ourselves some mortars. On the plus side, the game becomes a Doom clone about 2/3 of the way. Is this just a game that tries to do everything? Can be interesting, but when a big chunk of it is RTS, I might just have to step away. When popularity falls below 50, support will dwindle. Gold and da-da-da goes down. Well, I'm sure we can live with that. Oh god, most of the land I hold is disgusting elf land. Species elves. It's all elves here. What are you trying to say, game? Why do the elves run so much of the world? Maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Perhaps the right question is, how do we eliminate the elves? So what do we have over here? A couple of troopers, a couple of hunters, a couple of grenadiers, and a transport. That looks like a whole lot of work for us. Right, let us then bring over some grenadiers and all of our troopers over here, and the next turn we will lay the smackdown on Firen Tiriel. Okay, very well. Let's make sure that we have some defense here. I'll get myself a grenadier and oh, troopers seem oddly cheap. Oh, give me those. Give me those then. That'll do for base defense here. I've only got 3 of you. Oh, but look at this undefended area that will probably be very swiftly defended if I move in. That's okay. I'm sure I have things that can help out with that if I just send you in. The enemy country is entrenched. The higher country entrenchment, the better defended. Yeah, but they have no armies here. I suppose the thing is that they will move armies in to counter this. But if it's nice and empty, I should be taking advantage of that, surely. Get the trooper over here. Get the trooper over here, grenadier over here, and buy ourselves a fresh batch of troopers. Yeah. I'm starting to think you being here is a bad idea, because they could just grenadier us to death or make some units to give us a bit of hassle. You just activated conscription. I thought that only gave me a card, rather than actually lower the cost of that stuff. Oh yeah, this transport could just come and unload here. But I'm sure I have cards that can help me. Wish I could check them. Can I save? Of course I can save. Hard drive's going to be half full up of saves for this game. All that spyware is going to think that I'm a huge fan of Divinity Dragon Commander. Oh, what just moved in here? Uh-oh, they're on a rampage. They came to get down. So what did they bring in here? They brought in a grenadier and 2 troopers, whereas I have 3 troopers and a grenadier. So, naturally, this battle will go in my favor. Oh god, they decided to deploy 2 shaman, and their grenadier seems to be somewhat better than my own. So, what if I were to use this card? Getting a penalty on this. What if my troopers fired faster and my my grenadiers were fast? Ooh, that doesn't look good at all. And I don't think I got no money to have these people help out at all. Shamans. Yeah, I might have to pull a dragon on them. Unlock the Devastation Dragon skill for 1 combat round. I don't know at all what these things are going to do. Well, let's use this. So troopers will fire faster, and we're going to set them on fire. Sounds good. Doesn't sound good enough, though. The elven question must be resolved. Oh, do we have a pause button, by the way? Maybe pause break? 0? 0? No? Is there no pausing here? Oh god, that's bad news for me. Be nice to have a moment to assess the battlefield. Alright, get over there. Maybe start building stuff. Attack. Halt. I don't even know. Why do these things look like they're on fire? Alright, well, go and secure these. Get me a mortar. Actually, they have air-based stuff. Build it up. Build it up. Build it up. Build it up. Get me another mortar. Where the hell's recruits? Are you recruits? Okay, well, it does seem to be going up. Order me a whole lot of troopers and get me a rally point over here. Damn right you are.
Mortar turret completed.
Alright, mortar, start firing. Can you even do that? I don't know if you can. Halt your orders. Do whatever you think is right.
We need more recruits, Commander.
I can tell that.
Recruitment citadel completed. We need more recruits, Commander.
Alright, well, maybe what I need is to start laying the smash down on these guys. Yeah, there we go. Can't be having your mercenary... Wow, my dragon's pretty buffed up for this. There we go. Get away from here and send in the units. Now, I know it told me there's a way to do that as a dragon, but I can't remember what it was. Press 1 to use Acid Blaze. Acid Blaze? Oh, wow. Alright. The power of my combined arms here. Did I ever mention that I love RTSs now? Oof. Tremble in fear. Well, not only did we win there, we didn't take losses. Wonderful. Emperor gives signet ring to lizard during change of power. Wonder if this will make the lizard people like me more. Oh no, he's giving me a power that I don't understand. Looks like dropping nukes or dropping chess pieces. And build an emporium. What does emporium even do? Well, let's grab a drink first, shall we?
What a character that Edmund is. Did you hear, Commander? Kapow, right in the kisser. Sure showed that old fart of a shaman, didn't he? Every imp in the realm has thought of treating him to a knuckle sandwich, but it took your general to take him out to lunch. Kudos.
Here you go, Commander. I've been meaning to return your ring, though I admit I do so with a hint of reluctance. What little marvel it is this ruby-set band gave me no end of cheer. There he stood before me, that hick of a high priest, expecting me to bow left, bow right, extend hands in welcome, and all manner of delirious nonsense. Well, that is not quite the ritual I observed. With the back of the hand emblazoned by your signet, I struck him firmly across the jaw, exclaiming, "Feel the sting of the dragon! Crawl back from whence you came so that I may do my duties!" Needless to say, he scuttled off like a dog kicked in the nose, and my business there was concluded before the setting of the sun. I'll remember this episode fondly, Commander. Reminisce with a choice sherry as the sound of your ring-shattering impish jaw resounds in my memory once more. A symphony of satisfaction.
Your latest victory was awe-inspiring, Commander. The enemy trembled with fear. The war could still go either way, Commander. But if I were a betting man, and I am, having been dealt the hand you're holding, I'd go all in without looking back. Which one do you have in mind? He's a slimy kid who happens to excel at warfare. I once met a lizard who went to school with him when he was but fresh from the eggshell. Told me he'd always been like that. Smart as a whip, but a loner too. Hopelessly assured that he is better than everybody else, and has 10 brains for every one that we have. Worst part is, he may well have. But don't you ever tell him I said that. Which one do you have? Well, I figured that between me and the prissy brigade that Catherine and Edmund form, someone a bit more down to earth would be a welcome addition to the group. And let me tell you, if someone likes to go down, it's Scarlet. She's a man-eater in the bedroom and a man-eater on the battlefield. Fast, feral, and ferocious. Oh, I'll get more intimately acquainted with her, Commander. You mark my word.
Yeah, be my guest. Let me go deal with politics.
Commander, I am pleading here.
No.
So
No.
another crippled laborer must perish in the gutter to save the royal treasure.
Yes. Let me get back to war.
I am mortified, Commander. Never has a lizard of such standing brought such utter shame upon our kin. Oh, that devil of an Edmund assaulted a frail and aged imp, a much revered priest among their kind. If he weren't such a brilliant strategist, I'd have him busted down to private and have him peel potatoes till the day he retires.
Careful, Heldon. Don't get too excited. We're done with the Citadel DLC. Well, you're done with it. I'm not touching that thing with a 50-foot barge pole. Okay, let's continue on with my tremendous RTS glory here. Might finally in position to wipe out the last of elven kind here, if I could be so lucky. Starting to wish I hadn't left both my armors here. I'm not so sure I need to leave defenses on this island. It seems remote enough not to be a concern. So if I pop you into here, and then pop you over to, oh, I don't know, here for now. Academies generate unit acquisition advantage and subversion cards every 3 turns, as well as 1 research point. That might actually be handy to just plain have. Okay, time for an all-out attack. Don't even worry about leaving the previous place leave it with a little bit of defense just in case they pop something out of God knows where. No, no, don't. Move them all in. Every last one of them. Because I can bring a little bit of defense over here. Now... Wait, this place is still in red. Why is it in red? We own it, and it has our outline. Ooh, it's got my parliament as well. How much dosh do I have? 19. And this is a war factory, so I need to start producing units here. A grenadier and the rest made up with you. That'll keep you safe. And I should strongly consider continuing with the push. Push, push, push into Ghoultree. What if I just lose this place for leaving it undefended? Capital, huh? If it is captured, the faction it belongs to is utterly defeated. Well, who's the faction? Cathan. Well, then, that sounds like somewhere that I should all-out attack. It's a shame you can't get there in time. I hope I have some cards to assist with that. Cathan also holds this, so it might not even be in my interest to attack this, but we'll do both regardless. Okay, how's this fight looking? Utterly defeated, they say. Oh, come on, they only have one hunter here. I don't want to fight this one first. I want to fight the other one first. Looks a lot better. If I leave it to the Imperial Army, it could go either way. Scarlet is my cheapest. Edmund is pretty smart. What if I give Edmund... Wow, that does so little for this. How do I undo this card? This? Yeah, how do I not have the card? Come on, Jake, take command and show us your genius. It's the only way to ensure victory. Yeah, fair enough. I better get my Aura of Restoration power available. Never know when you're going to need that. Alright, let's go. I was born ready. Wait, we have 50%, they have 48%. Okay, sure. Oh, the map! I can see the map. Well, this looks oddly detailed. I assume they're randomly generated. It doesn't seem to follow the lay of the land here. Oh well. Let's get to it. 2% chance of a draw. How can you have a draw in a fight? One achieves their goals, the other does not. Okay. Hang on, this place looks awfully familiar.
Give me a target.
Where am I even looking at here? Yeah, what if they navally invade me? Yeah, it looks like they have naval transports. Okay.
On the trail.
Get moving over there, and in case they decide to attack by sea, you guys get over there. I would like to build a... Actually, I'm not sure I would. Get our recruitment stuff done over there, not back here. My dragon can take care of anything they bring in by sea, or help you out with that at least.
You're blowing my cover.
Wow, the hunters are pretty fast. I should beat them to this. And then maybe even push forward even more. Alright, we got this stuff. I would really like a mortar, but I think I should focus more on building things up here. Requires construction of battle forges, war forges, and what? Am I taking this stuff or what? Looks like I am. Needs recruitment. What are you talking about? Build these things up, damn it.
Give me a target.
Construction underway, Commander.
There we go. There we go, go.
Underway, Commander. I will stand until my last breath.
I should hope so. Right, get over there, and I will...
That's impossible, Commander.
You must be near friendly units. Well, these are friendly units. Let's go. Let's go all Pearl Harbor on this. You shall not be passing. And yeah, I have to keep mashing here. Can't get too close here. Looks like they got some actual defenses. They're ripping my dragon to shreds. So let's put you away a bit and start deploying some things here. I like mortars. I have no good reason to do so, but I do. Let's get those made. And let's have you set up a rally point over to here. What's with the clouds? I can't barely see. Get us a warlock and a couple of grenadiers. Press the advantage.
Construction in progress.
Am I even hitting that thing?
Battle forge completed.
Well, I am now. Oh boy.
Recruitment citadel completed. We had better be on the lookout for enemy grenadiers, Commander.
Doesn't matter. Tear them all to shreds. You got what you need. In comes the cavalry. Good enough. I think I gave them some kind of big old buff. Anything you say. Good, good, good. This thing doesn't appear to even be working right now. Let's not give it the time of day. Well, clean, clear, and very much under control.
Is that a tree? Well, not anymore. Let's get this dance of death started.
None too shabby by me, but I would expect nothing less. The F-22 Dragon. Okay, so I lost a couple of troopers, but they lost a whole lot more. But there's still this fight. Oh, I can't deploy myself for this fight because I deployed myself over there. Fortunately, though. Fortunately. I mean, I shouldn't need to hire anyone for this. Just send the army in. And then watch this amazing engaging combat. How did they even have a 22% chance to win? You have conquered the capital, successfully stole all there stole. Come now, there's better words to be using than that. Capture the capital, hold onto it for one more turn to defeat your enemy. That's how they did me in the previous run. Populist motivation decreased by 10% because of my policy to not give them healthcare. It was a good call, honestly. Let's get away from Scarlet and go to the bar. Oh, man.
Yikes, what a vixen! Can't dear old Kathy be happy with the wages she gets? Not like she has to cook or clean.
Listen here, Commander, for I have a matter of great import that I should like to bring to your attention. In the realm I ruled, that rule was absolute, as was that of my vassals, women all, of course. We concerned ourselves with matters of mastery and the mind. Men with all things menial, according to the natural order. On this ship, however, I find myself trapped amid so many cocks of the walk, the one more swollen with self-importance than the next, only to discover these pompous windbags actually earn more wages than Scarlet, Prospera, or I do. If anyone, it is we of the superior sex who should sooner receive more silver and gold than those of the savage variety. You'll set right this iniquity, Commander, and you'll do it now. You'd have me beg, would you? Perhaps you're one of those, petty and puny, in need of power to perform. Forget it, Commander. I won't give you this satisfaction. Run a chauvinist ship if you must, but I'll not debase myself for the likes of you. Now leave me be.
I'm glad we came to an understanding on that matter. Wonder what Charlotte thinks about that one then.
Typical of Catherine to get miffed over money. I don't care what they pay me as long as I get to brawl and booze.
Growing on me a little bit. I like the don't care what they pay me part, so can we pay you a little less?
Typical of Catherine.
No, apparently not.
When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though, for whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men, provided they are lizards.
Uh-huh. How punishing is this game to you? Well, less so than Civilization, which is surprising given that it's an RTS, but I suppose it's not fully an RTS. Also, I have this on joke difficulty, so I'd have to ram my head against the wall here. Right, all I need to do is hold this for a turn. I somehow don't think that's going to be a problem. You're right, I'm not doing anything, but I can just pile up gold, which is surely a good thing. And with what units would he even oppose me? I suppose, just in case we get a little too cocky, let's lump up our forces a little bit.
And so it came to pass that the Dragon Prince was initiated in the ways of war, and caught the attention of his siblings. Whereas the prince had been but a flea in his half-brother Carthan Axehand's coat, the dread Decapitator now took full notice of what turned out to be a dragon, and so in turn did the others. Yes, it was in the heartland of Rivellon that the war would be decided between the last of Sigurd's children. Carthan remained a threat, as did his sister Sybil the Silent, who had cut out her own tongue a long time ago to stop the voices in her head from babbling. And then there was Faran the Fleshless, who was convinced he wasn't human at all, but rather an undead, which he would demonstrate by slicing the flesh from his body. Such was the crazed company the Dragon Prince would have to fight. Such were the terrors he would have to overcome. And the way he did so is still studied by all strategists in Rivellon today.
I keep the popularity here. Well, dwarves rather like me. I wish I could have the elves down a lot more and the lizards up a fair bit, but what you gonna do?
For you, Commander. Great, grave, or gratifying, I'll leave its interpretation to you. The fact of the matter is your victories have gone far from unnoticed. That much you knew. But they have also gone a long way toward uniting a shattered realm. It has therefore been announced that you are to marry, for that will bolster the populace's spirit and cement your power as emperor. Soon the finest princesses in the land will be here, bidding for your hand in marriage. Not as such, no. You don't want to get married, because that would be a bit of an imposition. The decision has been made, you see. Matters such as these, even an emperor has to accept without remonstrance. Still, there are worse things than tying the knot, surely. I dare say it will. But do not, please, take this matter lightly, Commander. Of course, I hope your wife shall turn out to be a charming girl indeed. But this, above all, is a political bond, meant to strengthen the ties between you and the faction she belongs to. Love, I'm sorry to say, has very little to do with it. But of course, I may be proven wrong. Perhaps it is even best that I had. Very well, Commander. And while you fantasize about pretty princesses, I'll continue my studies. Grumio may find his inspiration in dreams, but I'll stick to books, thank you very much. A wizard likes his nose between the pages, rather than his head in the clouds.
Alright, take me to the bone zone.
Commander,
go away.
Displacing a great many people.
Oh, none of the buttons work.
The influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Many of them are driven to crime by want or ill will. To that effect, I propose that if a foreigner is found guilty of an offense, he or she should be deported immediately. Delinquency is on the rise, and we need a few effective deterrents to curb its proliferation.
Foreigners, you say? Will you deport foreign criminals? Is the alternative to hang them? Because I feel like you're not giving me the full set of cards here.
Capital, Commander. Let others provide for this petty riffraff. We'll have none of them no more. Solves jail overcrowding, too. We're killing 2 burglar birds with 1 stone here.
1 stoning. Alright.
Wonderful. Let's organize ferries to Shark Point. Once deported there, there's no way these vermin will ever make it back to our 7 blessed shores.
You got any sisters there? Extended bony family? Maybe we have to do another turn before the marriage candidacy is opened up. Although maybe we just go swig one at the bar.
Yes, Commander?
Commander? Ask me if the weather is fine. Ask me if I enjoyed my lunch. You'll get a much nicer answer, Commander.
What would you
Sup, Commander?
Just passing all of you then here today. Well, at least I'm more appreciated on the battlefield. Okay. Looks like I didn't keep any of the stuff that I made from our previous fight, and instead we have to deal with... I'm assuming that's dwarven people land. Species dwarves. Is it just... Oh god, the elves are around. Watch yourselves. Neutral land? Oh, with imps. Right. So it seems that we all have a lot of neutral land around us. Oh, and we're stuck on an island. Less than pleasant. Ooh, and I got somebody on my flank just now. If I go and take that neutral land, I can grab myself 3 armored divisions, which sounds amazing. And a couple of hunters, but I might be hard-pressed to fit them all onto a transport. No, a transport can hold 5 cargo. So, what is this? An ironclad. Might not like me travelling through here. Maybe I could take both of my... Right, here's an idea. I'll shove one of you in here, and I'll have you head on over to there. And then you're going to pop out. I'll leave the trooper to defend, and I'll pick the other 2 up and bring them out of there. There's also this place, looks very tantalizing. But I don't think I can just shove you onto there, can I? No sir, I have to get you onto here, load you up and then send out. Oh, I've got a transport out here as well. Maybe naval units and aerial units can only engage enemies they cannot... Ah, they cannot capture. Good to know. Very good to know. But to that extent, I should certainly have you over here to pick up more units. And then we'll put them to use next turn. Anything else we can do? No, what a horrible place to start. It'd be far better being, say, here. All this neutral territory to just gobble up. Ah, clever buggers. Wait, what was all that hanging? I know I was asking for it, but how do they get the ability to it? Also, are these guys going to fight each other? It certainly looks like they are. It's always good to have your enemies fight amongst themselves. Yeah, I wonder how I get myself a genocide card. Just move into the elf places and genocide them all. Holy moly, he's pumping out units like there's no tomorrow. Ah, the ironclad appears to be fighting us. How does this work? Not well. So the transports need to be covered in such a way or else they're going to eat that. But maybe if I bring myself in and I just shoot the ironclads to death, it'll be okay. Yeah, how about we consider that? Your transport's attack range will increase 50%. Sure, why not? Keep them out of the battle for longer. So I just need to keep those transports away, and then my rocket jetpack dragon just moves in and carpets them. Alright, get the heck away. Oh, this looks like it might be the edge of the map, though. Well, it doesn't matter, just get the heck away from them. Do you accept waypoints? You do. Right, just keep them the heckle away.
Enemy ironclads. So much for peace at sea.
Exciting. Let's go. Yeah, I love
Right.
traveling.
Try and lure them over here. Right, now get away. Get the heck away. Oh, they're getting a little too close for comfort. Keep moving. Move faster. You got 6 seconds before I can help you out there.
That's impossible, Commander. That's
I decide what's... Wait, you need at least one recruitment citadel.
impossible, Commander.
How am I meant to... How am I meant to build anything on this map?
That's impossible, Commander.
Yeah, I love traveling.
That's impossible, Commander.
This could be a problem.
Off we go.
They have a bigger attack range than me, despite me boosting my own attack range. Anywhere to drop the units?
We don't hit too many fish. Exciting.
Wondering that
Let's
myself. If I could at least drop the units off... How fast are they? I've got speed 250. They got speed 200, so at least I have that advantage.
Won't that use too much fuel?
Is fuel even a number here? Transport, unload oil.
That's impossible, Commander. That's impossible, Commander.
Oh god, keep moving.
Off we go. Hope we don't hit too many fish.
No, it's not so much needing the transport, but it does have all of my units on it. Well, maybe not all of them.
Won't that use too much fuel?
That's impossible, Commander. That's impossible, Commander.
Is going out of bounds considered a retreat?
Won't that use too much fuel?
Well, I can retreat. Not sure I want to. The fact that they outrange me, though, that's the one thing I could have used against them. Their attack is 324. My attack is not. Their armor is only 5, surprisingly enough.
Yes. Hope we don't hit too many fish.
That's impossible, Commander. That's impossible, Commander.
Is there anywhere at all that I could unload these units? No, it seems like naval is purely naval. That's a shame. Also, they have more health than I do.
Exciting. Let's go.
Alright, I don't think I have any choice but to retreat. I didn't think retreat was self-destruction. Okay, that's unfortunate. Dang. Well, hopefully getting married will take my mind off of this.
They are here, Commander. The fairest maidens to be found. Here in the hope you will take their hand in marriage. Gathered aboard are Lady Lohanna of the Elves, Lady Ida of the Dwarves, Lady Camilla of the Lizards, and Lady Ophelia of the Undead. Godspeed, Commander. I would heavens know we wouldn't want to make a scene. The rejected princesses will be disappointed, and their counselors furious. No, once you have made your choice, inform me of it in confidence, and simply be about your business. I will take care of the rest. There was an incident. Best not to mention it. That would have been politically inopportune, Commander. Don't tell me you take after Edmund, and dislike anyone who is not of your own species. Any of these princesses will make for a loving wife, and bring you great prosperity.
But will they bring me offspring? I think that's a bit important in a monarchy. Right, well, we're gonna need a drink before we look into this.
I envy you, Commander. You 4 women here begging to make her yours. Bloody hell. I wish I were a Dragon Knight.
Shopping for a spouse, are we, Commander? I wonder what the return policy on these princesses is. No refund after they've been used?
You dragons sure have a nice time of it, Commander. Who's it gonna be? That elf girl is cute. I mean, you know, not that I've been really looking.
Definitely Citadel DLC level of writing here, Helden.
All this lovey-dovey stuff is wasted on me, Commander. But you go ahead and see who takes your fancy. Elf, dwarf, lizard, undead. They are all represented.
Come on, up you stand, back straight, chin high. The commander is here. No, you are not daydreaming, Commander. This is not a mirage that would trick your eyes. This unearthly beauty is real, and her name is Lohana, Princess of all El. I'll give you a moment to compose yourself.
The best reason of all. Love. Or so I hope. I have heard of your deeds and seen your...
You
I
look
know
like a
the very
Pixar reject. Get the hell off of my ship.
What a strange day this must be for you, Commander. Having to receive princesses who are strangers to you and choose which one of them you would spend your life with. Strange for the princesses themselves, too, Prospera. For they are put on display like cows on the market. And I am not a cow, kind sir. I am Camilla, a princess, rather reluctant to take part in this charade, but willing to do so for the benefit of all lizards.
Why does a lizard have memories?
To be perfectly frank, I don't know if I really do.
Did you hear me?
Your Highness. Please forgive her, Commander. Nerves, you see. 1, there is nothing to forgive, and 2, I am calm as a frozen lake, so hold your tongue, Counselor. Now then, let me elaborate. Unlike those other girls I've seen shipped here by their aspiring ambassadors, I am not one who spends her days in palace rooms having her nails tended to. I've studied law and am now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of my native land. I am a woman of the world, Commander, knowledgeable of matters of state. A royal
Get the hell off my ship.
It's your lucky day, Commander, for I have with me the famed beauty Ida, Princess of Hammerdale. Dwarves have come a-courting her from each part of the realm, clad in solid golden belts, beset with diamonds, wielding axes so sharp they can cleave rock. Bold warriors that alone could face an army, but none has laid claim to that purest of rubies that is her heart.
All right, Falstaff, put a sock in it. I'd rather see you drink than drivel. So unbecoming of a dwarf.
Yes, well, there you have it, Commander. Lady Ida. To her very good health, I say, and your future happiness. I'm sure it'll be a blissful union.
Why, yes, my little dandelion. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to marry an emperor? 'Tis a right treat that you're not so bad looking either. But power, my lad, that is why we do it. The power of the dragon. Me, I do have a few personal stakes in this as well, though. My father, see, may the plague wither his pecker, is a right old rotter whose company I'm desperate to escape. Put a wedding ring on my finger, and your ship will be my home. I'm sure we'll get on like 2 pups of play.
You look like my primary school teacher 50 years ago, so I'm gonna have to pass.
The 7 have graced you, Commander. For today they bring before you Ophelia, daughter of Everking, sovereign of the Skeleton Spire. A more splendid princess is not to be found. Marry her, and the gods themselves will bless your union.
Go on, girl. Don't be shy. Answer the dragon.
My lord and emperor, I stand here before you because I was bid to, and thereby was I blessed. I am not worthy of your love, but should you choose to honor me with marriage, I should take it as a sign the 7 still savor my soul, and it will be my unwavering endeavor to earn the trust and affection you would bestow upon me. Grace be unto the gods, and unto you, my sire and king.
Well said, my dear. That settles it, does it not, Commander? How can any man even contemplate the hand of another woman when he has met fair Ophelia?
How does she have memories?
The 7 have graced you, Commander. For today they bring before you Ophelia.
Well, it was never really a question. We're going to the bone zone. I mean, we can try for kids, but even if that doesn't work out, at least I'll be able to make some good soup. So, down to the royal chamber. Let's confirm and affirm.
All this lovey-dovey stuff. Wonderful. Who is the lucky lady? Really? I mean, of course. Very good. Perhaps now you'll truly garner the goodwill of the gods. Allow me to be the first to heartily congratulate you, Commander. I will make discreet arrangements for her stay and the departure of the others. All will have been taken care of when you return from the battlefield.
Right, well, let's go and throw a battle so we can immediately get to the meat and bones of this game. Kinda sucks to have lost all my everything to that ironclad. Does that mean I could have taken a route through here to avoid it? That probably begs investigation. Oh, you already have... No, you have no cargo on you. So if I slap just one of you in, and then we take you over like so... Yeah, there we go. That's using our noggin. Looks like ironclads and juggernauts do not want us to be leaving here all too easily, but if I can get down to youthful gore... Get ourselves a bit of a beachhead. If there's a reason to revolt against your monarchy, surely your monarch marrying a skeleton would do the trick. I doubt it's the first time. Oh wait, the wedding's being held on the ship? You'd think the undead would be a bit more grateful for this.
Congratulations, my lord. Happy days, eh? Oh, but don't you worry. I haven't been sipping sparkle wine and eating wedding cake, no. Researching, engineering, those have been my occupations.
Are they going to voice their disappointment?
You're a married man now, Commander, but I bemoan your choice. An alliance with the dwarves would have made you rich, fabulously wealthy. And what have you now? A bag of bones, that's what. A skeleton that'll talk your ear off about the bleeding gods. Bah!
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Shell-shocking catapults, Commander. What a pity it is you never got to meet pretty Princess Pyra. And now what? You're married to an undead that looks as bare as a fish after dinner. No, I don't envy you, Commander. Verily, I don't.
Poor Lady Lohanna left this ship in tears when she heard you wouldn't marry her, Commander. And 'tis well that she cries. How you could have chosen that walking corpse over her is quite beyond me. You'll rue the day. And soon, too.
I'm gonna make coat hangers out your ears. Get the hell off my ship.
I shall not conceal your choice of a partner has been a blow to us lizards, but personally I can't really hold it against you. Lady Camilla has a frigid nature that makes her difficult to endure, let alone love. In short, I hope you and Lady Ophelia will be very happy, but beware the zealot Yorick that lurks behind her.
If your decisions on the battlefield were as deplorable as the ones you made regarding the royal nuptials, we'd all have painfully perished by now. An undead, Commander? Really? They say that as long as it moves, it's not necrophilia, but in my opinion, you're coming uncomfortably close.
So the slave market is closed, and you've made your pick from among 4 serfs, whether she was willing or not. Here's hoping Lady Ophelia won't let you walk all over her. But I fear the worst for a woman stemming from that backwardly strict undead society.
So you got hitched, did you, Commander? Here, here! Wouldn't have gone for Ophelia myself, though. Wouldn't want to bone
Congratulations, Commander! Ophelia is such a subservient girl, typically undead, but I'm certain she'll bloom aboard the Raven. Dragons are free spirits, which is bound to rub off on her.
Commander, we all rejoice at your safe return. I am here with your princess, your wife-to-be, and shall now proceed with the wedding ceremony. It is here on this ship where conquest is charted and strategy surveyed that you shall pledge your vows. Symbolic, I hope, that love may yet conquer war. Our commander and emperor has sworn his devotion by the very act of choosing you, exalted lady, over all others. Only you must now avow your allegiance and dedication, if it pleases. Lady Ophelia, do you take the dragon to be your husband, to love and cherish, now and forever?
My lord and love, I do.
Then by the grace of the Almighty Seven, I now pronounce you man and wife. May joy and prosperity be your constant companions. Go forth, be merry, and make merry. Blessed be the both of you.
And blessed be the Seven.
I'm gonna need some kind of like training manual or guidebook on how exactly I'm meant to make merry there, but sure we'll figure it out. Love finds a way.
Catapults, Commander. What?
Yes, we heard it.
You're a married man now, Commander.
Where's my, what is it called? Dowry. Yeah, where's my dowry? Come on, surely you've found some coffins full of riches to dig up in your time?
Such a pleasant chamber this is. My be-all and end-all. So light and luxurious. Quite different from the rooms I frequented afore. Dark as the grave. Black as the secret branded upon my very being. Oh, I can hide it no longer. It singes my soul. Perchance if I confess its devilish sting will subside. You have been deceived, dearest dragon. For you have married a princess, destined for decay. Not mine is the holy perpetuity of the bone. A malicious malady mangles my marrow. Thus I have been punished by the Seven. So say the priests of the Skeleton Spire. Though for what insidious infraction I know not. They have forbidden me to seek a cure. For to do so would be to defy the decrees of the divines. But now that I am here, my love, here with you aboard this wondrous raven, I hope I may as yet counter the cancer that consumes me. You'll stand by me, won't you, my love? I long to banish the blight that burdens my body, but I cannot dispel it alone.
I think you're gonna have to seek the answer within there. I'm already thinking about the next wedding that I'm gonna be able to throw. Maybe the riches that the dwarves promised me can yet be mine.
Yorick would label my intentions as heretical. I myself don't quite know what to think of them. Perhaps they are. Perhaps I should salute oblivion, if that's what the Seven have in store for me.
Yeah. Could not agree more. Alright. Let's make a turn and see what married life has in store for us. Oh, I didn't unload here, did I? Meaning I didn't capture the territory. No. Ooh, what a mistake to make. Right, get unloaded. And then I capture you, then I can do stuff. Right, fair enough. Although, knowing that I might be attacked here means I should... Oh, we keep the conscription law. Sweet, I can have a Brazilian troopers then. You have to at least be a little bit curious how the soup would taste if you left your wife stewing in it. A lot of flavour in bones. Well, at least Acronymus brought me a dowry. Cheers. Not so keen on the bathwater part though. Too warm. I need scalding hot. Wait, we're having a battle? Who's fighting me? This doesn't seem right. I'm not even involved. Do I just get to watch other people's battles? Only because he has a skeleton fetish, anonymous sources claim. Your queen has rewarded you. Ooh. You have received a dowry of 45 gold. That's, not very much.
Commander, there's something very important I'd like to talk to you about. I know I've been evasive about the demon, the creature I called the heart of the ship. But I think the time has come to tell you more. You, after all, are the dragon. Yours should be the prerogative of knowing more than anyone else aboard this vessel, or indeed the realm. Corvus is his name. Raven in the ancient language. He is at the same time our greatest ally and our greatest foe. For it is from his antediluvian psyche that I wrestle many of the incredible powers Grumio and I make real. But it is he who also provided your siblings with like technologies, and does so still through dream walking. This diabolical being, then, who holds our key to victory, but would much rather...
Okay, you know what, we're going over time here. I need to call it. But I have an important question. How long is this game from start to finish? Because if it's not incredibly long, I don't think I'd be too opposed to putting this up for long play candidacy down the line. Maybe not immediately, but the game doesn't look very good. But it's interesting. It tries so many things. I don't think it pulls any of them off particularly well. But that's still something worthy of some commendation. Now, I would not be calling this punishment Goka. There's a lot of bad here. It's got Mass Effect writing. It's got RTS. It's got fantasy. It's got turn-based strategy. It's a lot of things I don't like, but the very fact that it tries to pull them off all at once, and from what I can see so far, at least succeeds a bit, fills me with, well, not quite obligation, but halfway towards that to at least want to play through it. Well, I think that's worthy of some investigation, but what I'm going to investigate now is getting me some dinner, so that I can be back in time for some Hearts of Iron 4. So cheers for joining for these punishment games, one considerably worse than the other. Let's pray that we never have Civilization 4 or any other Civilization games here. And until we're back with Hoy, cheerio.